just here for a little swim out at the Scottish Open, and I've done about a K, kind of. I forgot my fins though, so that's not ideal. But yeah, a little swim out. Here's the pool, here's everything. Ready to swim fast tomorrow. I've got 100 free tomorrow, but I'll see you at the hotel. Okay, so I'm back at the hotel now. I've just ordered food and it's just arrived. I need to unpack still. I've been procrastinating doing that. But I got this pizza. It's gluten-free, so they're always a bit smaller than the normal ones, annoyingly. I don't know which one it is. Hang on. Meatball Italiano. And then I got some gluten-free dough balls as well from Pizza Express. And they're yummy. So I'm going to eat that now, refuel, ready for tomorrow, and then I'll unpack and then I'll give you a little room tour, my thoughts on the weekend. So that is the room. It's very nice. Got quite a big one. I got quite well off in this one. But yeah, I'm just going to get an early night now. I think I am racing at about... forgotten what time I was racing, maybe like 9:45, I think. So kind of early, not too early though. Haven't worked out what time I'm going to the pool yet. Probably like 8 o'clock or something, maybe just after, not too sure yet. I need to work that out. I'm just gonna get an early night now before racing starts tomorrow. 100 free tomorrow, so that's just a fun one. I'm next to my friend Anna Morgan. I haven't seen her in a while, and I used to go to school with her. She's normally a breaststroker, but she is also quite good at the freestyles, and she's doing 100 free again. So I'm really excited to be next to her. It'll be a fun race, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay guys, so up ready for day one. Didn't get the best night's sleep last night, but I also don't like to think like that because I still swam really well off bad night sleeps before, and I don't know, I'm not the best sleeper, especially around competitions, so I feel like mentally, if you don't overthink that and you prepare to have a bad night's sleep when you're competing, then it won't affect you as much as if you're worrying about, oh no, I didn't sleep very well, I'm not going to swim very well, kind of thing. It's more like just, if you let it affect you mentally, like having a bad night's sleep, if you let that affect you mentally, then it'll have more of effect than the bad night's sleep actually does. So if you just tell yourself that it's fine and you're fine, it doesn't affect you as much. That's my logic. Don't know if there's any scientific backing behind that, but it's always worked for me. So yeah, but I'm just having my cornflakes here, gluten-free ones, and then my coffee, just a little coffee, get myself up and ready to go. 100 free this morning, looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm quite looking forward to racing. Haven't raced in over 2 months now, since mid-April, and it's the end of June now, so quite a long time to not race, but I'm excited to race. Yeah, it should be alright, I think. Like, I never know really what to expect going into a meet sometimes, but yeah, we'll just see how it goes, enjoy it, have fun, and yeah, hopefully make a final tonight. That'll be nice. Yeah, so I'm just eating this and then I'll head to the pool. I'm going to do some rolling before I head to the pool because there's just more space here. And then head to the pool and do some swimming. I'm doing a video over on my other channels about my race day kind of like timelines this morning. So head over to them and you can watch it there if you'd like. Because I thought that could be quite interesting for you guys. But yeah, I'll probably see you at the pool. Okay, so back from the morning heats of the 100 now. It was pretty good actually. Like, the time wasn't quite there. I think I was like 57.1. So not bad, but I've been trying to like set up my stroke properly in the first few strokes instead of just, you know, pelting it out and trying to swing my arms as fast as possible and like catch the water more. So I set myself back up and like build into the first few strokes kind of thing, because it sets my stroke up better. And the intention was there, but the execution wasn't quite there. Like, I did it, but I think I was so focused on not sprinting those first few strokes that I kind of eased off on my dive and stuff, and I can't afford to ease off on the dive and the underwaters, because my dives are never the best, and like my underwaters I'm always behind anyway, so I really need to like stay on top of it there. So that didn't quite work out how I was planning, but back 50 was good. I think I went out 28.0, back 29.0 or 29.1, so pretty good splits in there. Back 50 was good. I didn't have the best turn either. Like, the first 50 wasn't the best. I had a bit of a glide into the turn, so I lost a bit of momentum from the first 50 into the second 50. So that can definitely be faster if I just get like into the turn properly on the way back. Anyway, but still really good last 50. Held my stroke well, kept the catch and everything. On the last 50, just the first 50 needs some work. I also feel like I need to do a bit more of an intense warm-up in the mornings. Sometimes I scare myself a little and I'm like, oh, I can't go too hard in the morning warm-up, because I never feel that great in the mornings anyway, compared to how I feel in the evenings. Like, the mornings are never like my strongest. So I always kind of scare myself, and I'm like, oh, I feel really tired in the warm-up, so I don't want to go too hard in the warm-up, then it'll affect my race. But realistically, in training, once I've done a few reps of kind of like the main set, I normally get better throughout the set, or like even in having a more intense warm-up in like the mornings when I'm doing a hard session. Like, I tend to swim better, so I think I need to just get over that and go harder in the warm-up, because it will actually help my race. Like, in the evenings it's fine, but in the mornings I need to get my heart rate up, I need to get my body moving, so I don't feel as bad in the race. Because I feel like I was just still warming up when I was racing, especially with that first length. It took a lot to like get into it and stuff. So definitely need to work on that. So, going over the next few days in the mornings, I really need to be on it with my warm-ups, especially when I've got 400, and I always struggle with 400s in the morning. So we'll try a more intense warm-up in the morning and see how that goes. It's a bit of trial and error, finding out what works best for your body. Like, it's very individual, so you can't go off a like set warm-ups that everyone, like a standardized warm-up that everyone does. So we'll just try that and see if that helps at all. Plan for now is to just hang all my stuff up. I've actually got a little towel to hang up. Then head back. Well, have some chill time. Go and get some food now. I'm just going to go to the Tesco, I think, and then get a little walk my legs out a bit more, come back and chill. But I will see you after I've gone to the shops. I'll show you what I got for lunch. And yeah, pretty alright morning. Like, processes were good, execution not quite there on the first 50, but great second 50, and yeah, pretty solid. So yeah, looking forward to later, but I will see you in a bit. Okay, back from the shops now. I stocked up a little bit because that was my first trip to like the shops. I got some more little flapjacks there. I've got a little yogurt. This was part of a meal deal. Can't have too much. I normally get the boiled eggs, but they didn't have any. I was really upset actually in the meal deal section, because I'm gluten-free and not a lot of it is gluten-free. I bought some of these for like after the morning swims, just to top up a little bit after my race. Easy to have at the pool because you don't need to refrigerate them or anything, and they have no gluten in them. I got gluten-free oats in them, which is nice. Then I got some little white rolls here. I'm going to get some like chicken or something for my other lunches this week and have them. So I just stocked up on some of them. And then now I got a chicken and bacon mayo sandwich. I was going to get chicken and put them in the bread now, but instead of getting the like ready-made sandwich, but none of the chicken looked very nice. So I might go to Sainsbury's tomorrow, which is just along, and see if they have any nicer looking ones, because you know what, it just doesn't look very nice. So put me off. So I bought this one to be safe, but yeah, that's just what I'm gonna have now. I would have bought some fruit, I wish I had, but you know, it's not the end of the world. And then yeah, I'm gonna go on my Pulsio compression boots in a minute after I have eaten my lunch. So I'll catch up with you in a bit. So here we are back for the 100 free final. Like I said this morning, I was trying to ease back on those first 6 strokes and not overrate it and try and catch the water more. So tonight I was really trying to go a bit harder on the dive and not relax too much on the whole first 50. Now, didn't quite get it because I am over in one lane down from the top of the screen here in lane 2, I think it is. So as you can see, I am last 250 here, and I was quite behind at 25, so still need to get some work on that. But yeah, still had a good back end. I think it was a bit faster than this evening on the back, the morning on the back end, so it was pretty okay. I'm gonna show you kind of like my breakdown of the splits and analysis a bit later on in the video, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, it was an okay race. It was faster than the morning, which is always what you want heat final. Okay guys, I'm just getting ready to head off for day 2. It's been a later start today. I think I'm racing like just before 11:40 or like just after 11:30, so around that time. So it's about just before 10 now. I'm gonna head off in a minute. And yeah, 400 free this morning. 400 is always hard in the morning. In the evenings, I don't find it that bad, but in the mornings, it's literally the worst race. But I'm gonna try and go in and do a longer warm up and see if that helps me swim a bit better and be a bit more warmed up and ready to go. So yeah, I'll hopefully see you at the pool. Hello everyone, so I thought I would introduce this week's sponsor for this YouTube video of the Scottish Open 2025, which is the Swim Record app. I've been using this app for a little while now, and it's a great app where you can track all of your splits, times, locations, everything like that. You can track personal best training and everything like that all in one place, and that is a massive benefit of the app. Instead of using logbooks or spreadsheets to kind of track progress over a season or just over time in general, it's really helpful to have it all in one place. So I thought I'd show you a little bit about the app. I have it on my phone here, and I'm going to put it up on the screen so you can see it all clearly. So you can track from different events and track with your personal best, and you can add training in there. So I thought I would do a little race analysis sort of review with you over my 100 free. So this meet is about a month out from our target tapered competition. So our tapered competition for the end of this cycle is British Summer Nationals in a month's time. So if we look back to the last cycle, a month out from our tapered competition, which was April British Champs, a month out from that was Edinburgh International, which is also in the same place, which is kind of funny. But so knowing that, and knowing that, you know, the aim is to swim better at a tapered meet, we're going to compare how I swam now to how I swam then, because they're both a month out from our tapered competition. So if we look at my 100 free in Edinburgh International, in the heat I went a 56.53, and then at Scottish Open I went a 57.1. Now obviously it was a little bit slower, which is, you know, we'll look at the splits in a minute, but there's a note section underneath which I think is actually really useful, because then you can add some like context in it. If there's a live stream at the meet, or if you get someone to film your event, it's really helpful, because then you can look back and know the context of your swim, and you can jot down what your race plan was and your notes after your performance and kind of where you identified any key areas which may have made you quicker or slower throughout that. So if we look at my splits now, in the 100 free heat in Edinburgh, I went a 57.52 off the first 50 and then came back in a 29.01. And then for the heat here, I went 28.08 and then back in a 29.07. Now, obviously we can see in there that the first 50 was like half a second slower, and that was quite obvious in my swim and in my race plan, was to go out, not the first few strokes, kind of relax, be big into my strokes and really get in and then build through the first 50. And reflecting back on it, I think I relaxed a bit too much, and it kind of, I wasn't quick off the block. I relaxed on the underwater, so I didn't have a very good breakout into my stroke, and then I was just too relaxed going into it, and over the first 50 it was just too relaxed overall, and I really needed to push a bit more after I'd done those first few strokes relaxed, after I've had a good dive in underwater. First few strokes getting into it, and then accelerate off from that. But the execution wasn't quite there of my race plan, which is really useful when you can see the notes section and add in that context of it. Now if we look at the finals, see, this is great because I can find it all in one thing instead of having to go and look it up online, log it down and everything. I can just do it all straight from the app, which is just so much like so much easier and so much less hassle. So in the final in Edinburgh International in March, I went a 56.41 off of a 27.63 to a 28.78, whereas here in the final I went 56.6, so a little bit slower, off of a 27.89 and then back again in a 28.78. So it's really positive that I can see that both of those back splits were the same, and you know, I've still got that back end in there. The first 50 is where I've lost out in the time there by being 0.2 slower. Overall, it's from that first 50. So I was much better kind of through the 50 after I come up off the underwater and everything, but I was very slow off the block. I saw in the video that I was very slow. I'll try and insert a clip here if I have it. I was very slow off the block, and giving everyone a head start really. So that definitely would have impacted a little bit, you know, where I was in the race. But in terms of, you know, that's where you're losing time in there. So it's really good to also have the footage so you can note down these things. So when you look back and reflect at it, you can see where these areas are to improve on. But I know that I really need to attack that first 50 more, because I will have the back end in there. I just need to attack that first 50 more to get that time back down. And obviously comparing it to the same time in the season is really, like, again, with that context of this is the same sort of time in the cycle as it was back then, this is a really good time to compare those two. So that was my 100 free little analysis for you, and thank you to Swim Record for sponsoring this video. It's really useful to have everything all in one place in the app instead of using logbooks or like spreadsheets or anything. It's really useful so you can go back and reflect and track your progress over the season with the notes section, having that context in there, and you can do it all from the app. So again, thank you Swim Record for sponsoring this video, and I thought you guys would like to see like a bit of like race analysis as well, you know, using the splits and everything all in one place. I think I'm going to do a bit more of that with my other races as well, because I think it's important, because there's so many things that can add into factors with when you're swimming, and you know, even the little milliseconds in the splits, like that's adding or making you slower or making you faster. So it's really important to look back and have those reflections, and having it all in the app is really helpful. So I'll do that for the rest of my races. I had 400 this morning, and then I'm gonna go have a nap and then have the 400 final later, and then I'll come back later and we can do a little review of the swim and everything. So I will see you in a bit after I've had my nap and back ready for finals. So I'm just getting ready for my 400 free. They're on heat 2 at the moment, so I'm in heat 5, so a little bit of time. Go and do some free fall and then ready for 400. It's alright, warm up, so hopefully it's not too awful this morning, but we'll see. This is Spanner. She had 200 breaths this morning. How was it?
It's alright, not as painful as others, and faster than trials.
And it's going to be faster tonight, isn't it?
Yes.
She's going to go 223 tonight.
Yeah.
So here we are with the 400 free heat. As I said, it was quite late in the morning, so it's quite nice that it gave me some time to really wake up and get ready to swim fast. I actually felt pretty good. I did a longer warm-up, as I was saying before, thinking that I need like a more intense warm-up in the mornings to get my body up ready to go. So I'm prepped and primed, ready to go, and I definitely felt more awake, more kind of like ready to race after doing that longer warm-up. So I think that's definitely something I'll take through into future swims. But if we have a look at the splits here that I've put in on the Swim Record app, see, I went out in 29, kind of like mid, not too bad, and then kind of, you can see I tried to have like a stronger first 100, and then I really eased back, and like I'm hitting like 33 mids on the kind of 150 on to about 350 meters. So, and then I really dropped on that back end. As you can see, I got one of the girls that we were up racing on here. She kind of stuck with me the whole time. Good for her. She was having a great race. And I think it was actually a PB. But yeah, here are my splits from Edinburgh heats, which was in March, where I went a bit slower. But as you can see, like, I just didn't have anything on the back end left to give on this one. I'd had a random 34 in this, and it just isn't an even split. And for a 400, you want like your splits to be consistent throughout. So much more consistent on the ones here at Scottish Open to the left of the screen compared to the right of the screen, and it's really positive that I had that big drop on my last split, going a 31 point right at the end. Shows I had more in the tank left to give, and yeah, that's always a positive. Like, even though like I went basically 2 seconds faster than I did it this time in the cycle compared to last cycle, so really positive. I was very happy with this one, and yeah, I was really excited to see what I could give in the evening. And I was happy with it. Splits were even, it felt good. The longer warm-up helped, and having that drop on the back end really showed me that I had something else to give. So I was really excited to get in the evening and give it a good crack, you know? Yeah. Just had my 400. It's pretty good actually, 420. I think that's one of my fastest morning swims. Felt pretty good actually. I had one of the girls next to me, Woodley's girls, and he said, he came up to me before the race and he was like, my girl's going to beat you. And I was like, oh, okay. But then she was with me for like 350 meters. She was like 15, and I was like, oh no. So I had to really get a move on the last length, but it was good. It's good, nice to have someone to race in the morning, kind of pushing me on a little bit to go a bit faster. So that was pretty good. Hopefully a bit faster tonight. Nice to have a little race. I'm just going to swim down now, do 200 in my suit and then change, and I'm going to drink this, get some fuel back in. So 200 in this, and I'll get changed into my other suit and get changed and do a bit more swim down. So I'll see you in a bit. So I just headed off, and there is a gluten-free bakery that I've just been to, which is 100% gluten-free. So I'm so excited. I bought this mozzarella, sun-dried tomato and pesto sandwich, and it's warm. It's like a toasty. normally I can't get anything like raw, anything like that, like a nice warm sandwich or toasty from anywhere. I'm so excited. It wasn't too far away, it's about a 20-minute walk, but I got over from the pool and I'm just going to walk back, and Tesco's on my way back, which is really convenient. But I've got this, I'm so excited, and I also got a cookie which I'm going to eat tomorrow night after I finish racing. I'll show you when I get back, but I'm really excited, and I'll show you some videos of the cafe and everything. It was called Sugar Daddy's Bakery, and it was so nice in there, and everything in there is gluten-free, like all like safe for like gluten-free people or celiacs. So yeah, I'm so excited about that. You don't understand unless you can't eat gluten the excitement of finding a gluten-free bakery or somewhere that's safe. So that's really exciting. I'll show you when I get back. So I'm back now. I'm just trying the toasty. It's still warm even after about half an hour that it's been. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. I honestly couldn't recommend enough. It's Sugar Daddy's Bakery in Edinburgh. So good. Really recommend if you can't have gluten or anything. They do have other allergens in there, but it's all like marked everywhere. So like on each item, it will like tick which ones it has in it, so you can avoid them. But gluten, can't have gluten or celiacs, definitely recommend for you. And then the cookie I got is here, which I'm going to save for after racing, so I don't want to feel sick or anything. Look at that, it's huge. You don't get this like gluten-free. Oh, so good. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be my little treat for when I'm finished racing. Yeah, very excited. And then I also got some little grape packet, some fruit. I had some apple and grapes, which I actually ate on the way here. Some boiled eggs for some extra protein. Ooh, sorry about that. And then I got my favourite innocent drink. It is the Blue Bolt one. It has guava, lime, apple, coconut water, and blue spirulina. But this is my favourite flavour ever. I used to drink literally bottles of this, a bottle a day. But so good. So I'm going to enjoy that now. I'm going to get on my boots in a minute. And yeah, I will see you a little bit later for the final. Well, that 400 was really fun. Really fun. Not very happy with that, to be honest. But, I mean, it's alright. I think I went 418. To be honest, I had a quick look up at the board and I was like, no, I'm just going to get out of the pool. It was really painful and not very fast. But, you know, at the moment, like, I've been struggling with pacing the 400 and it definitely still needs some work. But, like, in all the other finals I've done, I've been scared to take it out and I've just kind of, like, eased back and gone out to kind of, like, relax and then have too much left at the end. So, like, that was my first time, like, in a final, really attacking it a bit more from the start. And I did that in the heat at trials. If you remember, I was going great, and then I went out in a 205, I think it was, or 204, 205. And then I absolutely died, and I was like ahead, and then I was like 10 meters behind everyone else at trials in the morning, and then subsequently did not make the A final, and then went faster in the evening. But I went 205 again on the way out tonight, and I came back in a maybe like 213 or something. I have to check that. This is just like post-race thoughts. So, you know, I didn't blow up as much as I did at trials in the morning when I think I came back into 219. So, you know, the last 50 I managed to like drop it back down again, but I need to work on like staying at that pace and not dropping my stroke. So just things to work on, but that's my little post-race thoughts. Not very happy at the moment, but I'll look at it again tomorrow and we'll do like the splits analysis and everything, and I'll show you tomorrow and we'll go through with the video tomorrow. I'll show you. But I've got back to the room now. I've got to be up early tomorrow morning. The 203 is first, so 9 a.m. start, so it'll be probably about like 10 past 9. So the earliest one I've had, so I've just ordered room service here. I've ordered the 8-ounce sirloin steak with chunky chips, roasted broccoli, and rocket salad. So hopefully that's nice, and hopefully it comes soon. That'll be nice. I'm tempted to have my cookie that I bought yesterday, earlier. Maybe I'll have a bite or two, but I'll show you the steak when it arrives, and then we'll go through the race tomorrow when I can look at it from a non-negative mindset. But yeah, I'm gonna enjoy my steak and I'll show you it when it comes. So I will show you the steak in a minute, but I thought I would go through the 400 final. As you can tell from my initial reactions, should I say, that I was not very happy with this race afterwards. You know, I tried to, you know, go out a bit harder. I think the first 50 was fine. It was just the second 50 I tried to hit too hard, which really affected me later on in the race. Like, as you'll see with my splits in a minute, it was kind of, I just got slower and slower and slower and slower until the last 50, which I did manage to pick up again and drop time on. Dropped down to a 31 I think, yes. But the second to last 50 was the 34, which is too slow. Like, it shouldn't get slower and slower. Like I mentioned in the heat, trying to be consistent with those splits is something I've been working on, and clearly that I did not do that in this 400. So as you can see in Edinburgh splits, it was overall time was over about a second and a half faster, but the splits were just more consistent. Like, they weren't perfect, but they were more consistent, and I still had a little bit of a drop at the end. But if I could have just like sorted out and maybe not gone so hard out on the second and third 50 of this 400, I think I would have given myself a better shot at kind of getting back down to my PB, which is kind of like 4:15 sort of area, or, you know, dropping faster than I did at Edinburgh. I think this one was more kind of a pacing issue, but at the time I was a little bit like, oh no, I can't swim, like, kind of thing, being really like irrational and, you know, overthinking it a bit, and catastrophizing a bit, but, you know, it wasn't that bad. Like, I still went a 4:18, which is, you know, pretty good, not where I want to be, obviously, but, you know, I have to take it. I paced it differently. I tried something different. It didn't quite pay off, but like I said, I went out in 2:05, which I did at trials, and I came back from doing a 2:05 and did a 4:22. So I went out 2:05 here, and I've gone a 4:18. So that's like 4 seconds faster, 4 seconds less of a drop off than I had there. But, you know, still things to work on. And as you see coming into the final length here, like, I had a little bit more at the end, but not enough. I'd let it go too much before in the race for it to be anything special, but it was okay. We got the steak here, the rocket, broccoli, and some chips, and then you got salt and pepper and some little ketchup. Oh, these are so cute. But yeah, I'm excited to eat this now, and then refuel ready for tomorrow, and then hopefully get to sleep early so I can get a good night's sleep. But I will see you tomorrow. So this is the 200 free heat. Yeah, this was not good. Like, the whole thing was not good. I don't know what it was just about this meet. I just wasn't, I felt so rough. Like, my body just felt so tired and so rough. And I feel like that definitely affected me, like, mentally, and especially coming off the back of the 400 that I really wasn't happy with the night before into this first thing the next morning was pretty rough, and I don't think I was in the right mindset. I was being very negative, which is something I need to work on. When I had, like, a not as good race, and then obviously end of a meet and feeling rough, you know, it just got to me too much. I need to work on like regulating those emotions, especially in season. In season is really rough. Racing sometimes, like it's a real hit to the ego most of the time, because this was a 204, which is PB+5 for me, and a 200, which is quite a lot. Yeah, and you just gotta, you know, look at it more in depth in the context of everything, and take a step back and realize that what you do in season isn't necessarily going to dictate what you do at tapered meet. And obviously that is the target meet when your like body is ready to fully race and rested and, you know, perform at your best. So you really gotta take the lessons and work on the little things from like the splits and stuff, and find out like race strategies and stuff like that where you're missing out, and really taking those learnings on to take back to training to fine-tune for when you are at the tapered meet and you're in a better position physically to race. But yeah, it was okay. I wasn't happy with it, but, you know, can't do anything about it now. So I've just done the 400, no, not 400, felt like a 400. 203 heat. It was rough. It was really, really rough. It really hurt, and I basically went at the same time I went out in my 400 yesterday. So that's just brilliant. Yeah, feeling a bit rough, but I guess that's just a training phase at the moment. But kind of wish I had just been like a little bit faster. But oh well. I'll come back to the bakery, the gluten-free one, the Sugar Daddy's bakery in Edinburgh. If you're ever in Edinburgh and you can't have gluten or anything, I mean, even if you can, all the stuff is really nice. Go to Sugar Daddy's bakery, really good. I got the tuna melt one because they didn't have the mozzarella one, and I got I got a yogurt and some fruit again from the Co-op. That's just probably, you might be able to see it behind me. And then I got 2 little cake cookie things from the bakery as well, which I ate the other day yesterday. It was too tempting. So I had it yesterday, but I'm gonna have them later. I might save one for tomorrow, but I thought because there's no like really like gluten-free bakeries like that near where I live, so I'm gonna take one home, make the most of it. But I'm just gonna eat this now. The Uber was like double the price today. I guess it's a Sunday morning, but it was like £11 till I get here, so it was more expensive than the sandwich and the 2 cookie things I bought. So that's great. And to be honest, I'm probably gonna pay for an Uber back as well because I can't be bothered to walk 20 minutes. That's too much. I'm going to make it through the 203 tonight. Might have to Uber back. Might have to take the L and pay the money. Because legs are dead. Arms are dead. Yeah, rough. Oh well. Like, the splits were alright. Stroke was quite long, which was the aim. It was just overall too slow. But I guess that'll come with, like, taper and stuff. But, I'm going to enjoy my sandwich and my lunch, and I'll catch up with you a bit later. So I am back at a hotel now. I had a nap. I went out and just sat in like a park for a little bit. It's quite sunny and hot here. But yeah, I'm just getting ready to go to the pool. Oh, I'm not feeling the best today. I've got such a bad headache. Maybe it's from like dehydration or something. But yeah. And you know, it makes you start to feel sick, so that's really good. But 203 tonight, final. Hopefully a bit better than this morning, but yeah, been rough. I'm feeling rough. Been a long weekend, and even better news, I'm racing again on Thursday and Friday at the Britain versus Canada students dual meet in Loughborough. So it's looking good. But yeah, heading back for 203 tonight. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say, except I'm very tired. I'm ready to go to bed. I will probably see you at the pool. So, introduce yourself.
That's it. Hello, my name is Paul Woodley.
And what are you?
I'm the head coach of Derwent's Head and Gateshead swim team.
Are you a good coach?
I think I am, and I'm good looking.
Not that. What did you think of my races?
I thought they were really good.
My coach at a Swim England camp last year.
Yeah.
Now we're besties.
Yeah. I did really, really well. I thought this weekend you looked really strong. Back end of that 200 freestyle was really good. And I think you've come a long way since last April. Well done, Jess.
So here is the 200 free final. Final time was 2:02.84, which was 2 seconds faster than the morning. Have a look at the splits. First 100 was roughly the same. I think it was like 0.03 slower or something like that. So, you know, if I want to be going any faster overall, I really need to start dropping that front end. Because the front end needs to be out at least sub-minute to be getting down to, you know, the 2 minutes 2:01s. But yeah, it was okay. The back end was even. That's slower than I want to be splitting on the back end as well, but at least they were consistent. And I didn't like drop off each one, which I have been known to do sometimes. But thankfully I didn't do that here. I tried to relax the first 100 more than this morning, and you know, I still went the same time with it even feeling more relaxed than it did then, so that's always a positive. And then I still had like a back end in there, and the back end splits were way faster than the morning. And then if we look at the Edinburgh splits, I was out much faster in a 59, and then 2:31s, and I did a 2:02 there, so not much difference in the time, which I was a lot more happy with, that I was kind of at the same position that I was this time in the cycle last cycle. So, you know, there's positives to take from it. Definitely need to work on the front end. I know my back end is normally stays the same regardless of how fast I go out, so I just need to focus on, you know, with the rest and taper, the speed should come more naturally anyway, so hopefully that will come, and then I'll maintain the back end like I normally do, and you know, hopefully drop down to my PB if not faster. So that one was a bit more positive to end the meet on, and I was a lot more happy after this one. Well, that was a interesting meet. Yeah, 203 tonight. It was better than this morning. It's just not quite there at the moment. If all of the splits had been like a second faster, then it would have been alright. But I mean, it was better than this morning. I actually went out slower than this morning, and came back quite a bit faster. So I guess that was good. It was improvement from the morning. I felt horrible today. Like, yeah, I just feel like I've just hit a wall. Like, there's just not been that, like, not freshness, but like kind of another gear to go to that I like normally have when I'm racing. So yeah, I guess it's just like the phase of training that we've done, and yeah, it's just yeah, I wasn't very happy with it, but you got to take the things that you can from the meets that don't go as well. And obviously, like I said, like comparing splits and everything to like how I swam kind of like in this same time in the cycle last cycle, and like, as I continue to track that, kind of improving meet on meet and stuff like that, and seeing where in those splits I can make the improvements. But obviously it's really important to track with the notes any footage, but the notes, the splits, and like where you did these swims, it's really important to track it, so you know you've got something to work from you're not just, you know, every now and again you go and race and then, you know, you've got nothing to compare it to except your PBs. But as you get a bit older, like, PBing at like tapered meets is like expected. You wouldn't expect to PB as much in like in season because obviously you're in hard training, you're not rested or anything. So it's really important to track all of them. And like I said, I've been using the app Swim Record to help me track them and keep it all in one place instead of having to go and search it all up, add it in a logbook, carry around a logbook or anything like that. It's really helpful to just have the app on my phone. It is $1.99 on the App Store, but then you have full access to it. And I think it's a really good tool to use and get in the habit of like tracking your swims and splits and everything like that. Like, you can't train with a purpose unless you've got something to work from. And I think having that constant, you know, reflection and, you know, having it there to look back at, to like base your next part of training on the areas that you need to improve, and having it ready and available and tracked is really important as you move forward, and gives you like a purpose and something to strive for in your next block of training before your next comp and stuff like that. So I really do recommend taking a look at the app and looking at tracking your swims and everything. And I think it's great that it's all in one place on this app. That is the meet done for me. I am very tired, but actually have a very, very busy week. But I knew this was coming up, so, you know, all I need to do now is, you know, look after myself, get my body prepped and ready. And like I said, I've got the dual meet with Canada in Loughborough at the end of this week, so you'll be seeing that vlog next week. You'll probably have seen it on my socials at this point, but got to prepare for that. So it's Sunday night now, and I'm racing again on Thursday and Friday, so very quick turnaround, and it's going to be some tough racing. It's like 2 sessions, one on Thursday, one on Friday in the evening, and just the races pretty much back to back within the space of 2 hours, and I have the 400 included in one of those sessions. So yeah, it's gonna be pretty rough considering these days I'm used to doing 1, maybe 2 swims per session. So, you know, it's good practice, good training, and hopefully it'll be a really good meet and something different. I haven't done a dual meet before. It's kind of like how they do out in America, like short course yards, like they always have dual meets with the other, you know, other colleges, universities out there. So, you know, it's kind of cool that we get to do that in the UK because that's not the norm here, and do it with different competitors, people from Canada. So yeah, kind of looking forward to it. It's gonna be tough racing, but looking forward to it overall. And like I said, stay tuned for next week's vlog to see how it goes. Bye.